this out. Super checks. We all know about super checks. Unbelievable to the hockey fan out there. What better way to play Washington Capitals bubble hockey than with John Walton calling the game for you? We had the pleasure of creating a custom game for John, complete with his own voiceover, and the U.S. and Canadian national anthems done by Bob McDonald. Thanks again, John. Wow. All right, so the voice of the Washington Capitals and the voice, apparently, of Super Checks now, the man, the myth, the legend, John Walton, joining us on NHL Tonight. So you're telling me that in my basement I can hear good morning, good afternoon, good night, 24/7 on loop if I want?
If you want to, at the end of every game, that is part of it. And all of the other crazy things that I may say along the way, it's all incorporated into the game. And I got to tell you guys, I've been playing bubble hockey since I was 12 years old. To be a part of this project, and Bob McDonald, one of our longtime anthem singers, by the way, and a quick shout out too to Caleb Green, our other anthem singer who's on America's Got Talent right now. And we've got Bob doing the bubble hockey. Like, we got a lot going on just with our anthem singers alone here in Washington. But yeah, it was a great thing to be a part of. And thanks to all the Super Checks people for including us. And I hope Caps fans enjoyed as much as I did. That's my son, Jack, there, who was playing with me at home there. We've had a ball already, and we look to keep it going.
All right, so you've called a Stanley Cup final, a Stanley Cup championship. You've done a lot in your career. Where does being the voice of Super Checks bubble hockey kind of rank in that hockey fandom for you?
Well, it ranks pretty high. If whoever's playing me in bubble hockey beats me, being taunted by myself isn't a whole lot of fun. But so maybe it's a 1 or a 2, depending on that. Yeah, this was studio host Ben Raby was kind enough to come over last night and take a bit of a beating from me, if we're being honest. But yeah, it's we've got it set up in the house. It was tremendous. I'm going to say if it's not right at the top, I think the Stanley Cup still is 1, but this might be 2.
John, I mean, you were very nice about Ben Raby right there, saying he was nice enough to come over. I mean, if that's not, I will come over and play anytime. This is like boyhood. This is my dream, playing bubble hockey all the time. I'll tell you one thing real quick for all the fans at home. Chris Terreri, former goaltender, is the best. I never lost in my life at Super Checks till I played in the minors in Albany against him. He's like, oh, I'll mop you up.
Like set plays and stuff?
We went in, and he literally looked like the Capitals power play. He would work it around. I had my normal down to the corner, out to the guy in the slot for a one-timer, you know. I do one touch. He's one touch passing. I didn't touch the puck. I lost 5-0. Wow. It was unbelievable. Chris Terreri is the best. But how awesome is it to, you mentioned about playing this when you're a kid. For sure, you've never thought about this being a possibility, right?
I never thought about it. No, I think it just came to be, just over the summer. And it's funny you would mention, Chris Terreri. I have the North Stars as a visiting team. I grew up in Minnesota, so I had the North Stars as a visiting team, the Capitals as a home game, and it's all played with Washington Sounds. But I've gotten to know Don Beaupre a little bit, his son Connor, and I actually have number 33 on the back in honor of Donnie Bobo there. So, yeah, it's, a little bit of my growing up as far as the green and gold are concerned, and having all the Stanley Cup guys there. I never thought I would do something like that, but boy, it's been a lot of fun.
That's great stuff. And Bopes lives about 100 yards from me for the last 15, 18 years here. He's a great guy. But tell me some of the other players you had on Washington and on Minnesota in terms of at least the numbers or who they represent to you.
The numbers, okay. Well, we made the decision when we were putting the numbers on for the Washington side that they all had to be guys who played on the Stanley Cup team. So Alex Ovechkin left side, Nick Backstrom at center, Tom Wilson on the right, and Brooks Orpik on defense, and Matt Niskanen, because they were such a big part of it, Braden Holtby and net. Now, Minnesota for me, Brian, this will throw back a few here for you. I had Dino Ciccarelli on the right side. I got Steve Payne on the left. I got Neil Broughton at center, Kurt Giles and Craig Hartsburg, and then Bobo and net. So I've got your guy on the side. He can go in at any moment. We'll work you in at some point.
Leave him on the side. Just leave him on the side, John. That's your best strategy you can use. I played with every one of those players. They were all great players and good guys. That's really funny to hear.
We were seeing in that video of you dominating Ben Raby, and Rupper was telling us all the advances that we have in Super Checks bubble hockey these days with the video, the Jumbotron. And I remember bubble hockey at my local rink where it was so scratched up you could barely even see the ice. You took a tour of the facility recently up there in Buffalo. What can people customize these days as far as, where has bubble hockey kind of gone in the last 20 years or so?
it's crazy. I mean, you're right. I mean, everything that we had was, USA, Canada, USA, Soviet Union when I was a kid, and none of that technology existed. I had a chance a few weeks ago when I picked it up with the folks from Bubble Hockey to go through their factory. They're in the Buffalo suburbs in Clarence, New York, and it's unbelievable. They employ about 250 people. They do other things besides bubble hockey, too. Like a lot of games that, dispense tickets at, Chuck E. Cheese, Dave & Buster's, that kind of thing. But bubble hockey is what, put on the map. And watching how it's made and, all the craftsmanship that goes into it. Like, I had no idea. Like, I was like you. I just went up, wherever they had it, at a, arcade or wherever. And I think a lot of, hockey fans grew up with that. But it's unbelievable. I mean, the time and effort that they put into it. They do a lot with the local community in Buffalo and with the Sabres too. And I'm thrilled to be able to be working with them on this project and being able to do something from a Washington perspective that I think a lot of fans here will enjoy, especially after what happened here in June of 2018.
What a cool experience! And again, don't be surprised if this man Rupper is in your basement in the next couple of days or so.
I'm coming, John.
Rupper, next time you're in Washington, come on over. You're in.
100%. That's not a joke. You're going to regret that.
Yeah, just give us your address now, John, and we'll make sure we write it down here.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, John, appreciate it. Awesome opportunity there, and we look forward to hearing your voice because that means NHL regular season is right around the corner. Thanks so much for the time. We'll hear you again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I can't wait, guys. Good to see you guys back where you belong, too.